Hello everyone, today we will tell you about tomato planting procedures. How and when should tomato paste be planted? What are the tips? We will talk about these. Tomatoes are not grown only in the field. It is also possible to grow tomatoes in pots. But today we will tell you about growing it in the field. Tomato cultivation is quite common in our country. Tomato, which is an indispensable part of our tables, is a vegetable that is easy to grow. If it is cared for correctly, it will produce abundant crops. Tomato paste loves hot and warm climate conditions. It doesn't like the cold very much. Turkey's Mediterranean climate is very suitable for tomato cultivation. It also grows here. We are engaged in agriculture in the Marmara region. Tomatoes can generally adapt to any soil. It can be grown in almost any soil type, from clay soil to sandy soil. Planting time varies from climate to climate. We are engaged in agriculture in Bilecik. Tomatoes are generally planted here in May. If early planting is desired, it can be done around the beginning of May. Even if late planting is desired, tomato planting is done in mid-May or late May. If you plant earlier, you can plant in mid-April. This time you should cover the tomato with tule. Since the weather has not warmed up yet, it may be affected by cold weather. Harvest time is around 70 days. Whenever we want to harvest, we can plan accordingly. In warmer climates, planting can be done earlier. In this way, tomatoes can be harvested early. If we count the important details about planting, first of all, it would be better if we plant in a cool time period. Tomato planting should be done either in the morning or in the evening. Morning hours are more productive. Cold weather must be waited to plant the seedlings. It will be more productive if planted later and earlier. Tomatoes planted early are always more productive. Even if the tomatoes are planted while the cold weather continues, precautions should be taken by covering the tomatoes with agricultural tool. Soil temperature must be suitable. The soil to be used must be panned and processed. The soil should be nourished with the necessary peat and fertilizers. The importance of live water is great. It is necessary to water the seedlings as soon as they are planted. Tomato soil should have a deep structure. There should be no groundwater problem. The soil should be aerated and have good soil drainage. A soil with a high water retention capacity and a high content of organic matter is perfect for tomato cultivation. Before planting tomatoes, irrigation must be done. We use a drip irrigation system. We start the water engine and water the tomatoes. You know, in our previous videos we told you which irrigation system we used for tomatoes and the mulching process. After doing these, planting tomatoes becomes a little easier. We had completed the measurements while installing the drip irrigation system. We also laid the mulch nylon over the drip irrigation pipes. Next, we need to arrange the places where we will plant the tomatoes. We measure the places where we will plant tomatoes with the stick that we have previously adjusted and measured. We adjust the distance according to how far we will plant the tomatoes on the vertical row, around 40-50 centimeters. We determine the place where we will plant tomatoes by making holes on the nylon. Later, some of our teammates proceed by leaving the tomato seedlings in the places we determine. Some of our teammates are also proceeding by planting the tomato seedlings left behind. By dividing the work in this way, we can finish our work faster. If our team leaves the tomato seedlings in the place we have determined, and if they leave the tomato seedlings in the whole field, the seedlings sometimes wrinkle in place when they do not meet the soil quickly. Planting needs to be as fast as the number of people distributing tomato seedlings to the field. The team distributing tomato seedlings must move slowly in front of the planting team. Both teams should go at about the same speed. When too many tomato seedlings are distributed and the planting team is left behind, the tomato seedlings become shriveled. Therefore, it would be more efficient to proceed at the same pace. We do not cover the tomatoes with tule, because we do not plant tomatoes too early. When we plant tomatoes earlier, we cover them with tule. As you know, we grow some tomatoes ourselves from seeds. We had already made a video called "We set up a small greenhouse in the garden of our house." We explained to you how to grow seedlings from seeds with 7 important tips. We explained how to grow seedlings by covering the seeds with plastic wrap and keeping them warm. We take the seedlings we grow to the field and plant them. We plant tomato seedlings either on mulch nylon or, if we do not use mulch nylon, right at the bottom of drip irrigation pipes. We complete the tomato planting process at 40 centimeter intervals on a vertical row. After planting tomatoes, we continue the irrigation process for a while. We start the water engine before planting tomatoes. We make sure that the area where we will plant tomatoes is well moistened. Then we plant the tomato seedlings. the root parts of those seedlings must remain underground. The part above the root of the tomato seedling must remain above the soil. If we leave these parts under the soil, rotting will occur. There will also be a problem if we leave the root part of the seedling above the soil. Therefore, planting this way will be healthier. The grafts on the seedlings must remain above the soil. First, we set up the drip irrigation system. Then we laid mulching nylon, and we completed the whole process by planting tomato seedlings on top of it. Today we talked to you about planting tomatoes. We tried to provide information about these. Don't forget to support us. Keep farming!